Yes, Africa 24. It's on a Saturday here in Nairobi, Kenya. We're having a very good day. A lot of rains in Nairobi, Kenya. A lot of rains all over the 47 counties that we have in the country, Kenya. We are having a lot of blessing from the heaven, and this is a rainy season. Of course, it's one of the winter season that rains have really laid in this country. Welcome to Africa 24. This is your daily political talk, but here now we are having another topic as we're going to discuss. And as you can see on top of your screens, we are asking, why do you think, this is the question of the day, what do you think Harambee Stars is not performing? What is making our Kenyan soccer to sing? After yesterday, whereby Harambee Stars was held 1-1 draw by Zimbabwe. The guys from Harare, they held Kenya into 1-1 draw. We're going to discuss all those, and of course, you tell us who do you think is the perfect replacement for Engin Firat. Engin Firat is the coach of Harambee Stars, and also he is currently leading our national team. Men national team is led by Engin Firat. We're going to discuss all those, and of course, if you're joining us for the first time, you can always go on your YouTube channel and you'll find us there. Go there, like, comment, and subscribe to Africa 24. That is what we can ask you to give us. Africa 24 in all social media platforms. So we're going to discuss Kenya versus Zimbabwe post-match analysis. As of course, we get your reactions here in Africa 24. You tell us who do you think is the perfect replacement for Engin Firat, because many people are saying it is high time this coach now quits. Who do you think is the perfect replacement of Engin Firat, who is the head coach of Harambee Stars? We're going to discuss all those, and of course, I'm not alone here. I'm joined by Mzalendo. Mzalendo is following us at the back of the screen, and if you're following us in the United States of America, state of California, Atlanta, Georgia, you can also join us through the comment section. Join us and we'll be happy for that. Alex, you can give us the opening remarks as we start our show.
Good evening to you, Bonnie, and for anyone who is joining the show, I'm happy to be here, and I hope you're going to discuss matters of interest to the public, and people are going to be informed, educated, and also be entertained. So people to make sure they subscribe to Africa 24 as we head to the road to 2,000 subscribers.
So Mzalendo, I know you are following what is happening in our YouTube channel, and I know you are a big fan of Arsenal. So if you're following us, then you can join us. I'm going to share the link there so that you can also join us in the studio if you know and you understand what is sports and you want to give your suggestion on what is going to happen. Then you can join us through the link that I'm going to share there and tell us who do you think is the perfect person to replace the head coach of Harambee Stars, who is Engin Firat. Post-match analysis. And as we start the show, I have seen what is happening in the social media for a long time since Kenya recruited this coach from Turkey to join us. And Engin Firat has not been one of the best coaches that we can have in this country. Kenyans are still questioning, why do we have foreign coaches in this country? So we saw AFCON qualifiers against Cameroon, against Zimbabwe, against Namibia. And of course, as we blame the coach, then we know a lot of things are happening in this country. We don't have stadiums in this country. There's no home advantage. And of course, if you have the home advantage, you are going to win matches. We are also lacking stadiums. We are also lacking the support. You saw some of the players who were stranded in Germany. We also saw our team not having the right infrastructures to train. So I think as we blame the coach, we should also blame our nation. I want just to start with Alex. Alex, what do you have to take home after Kenya exited the AFCON 2025 qualifier?
Uh, so uh, so I was making a joke today, Bon, and I was saying Kenya is the modern day Arsenal. Every time we have something like a competition, we always pushing it to the next season. So for us, it's always the next qualifiers, then the next qualifiers, and we don't really get to where we want. So for me, I think we have a lot of issues, and starting from the scouting, starting from the structures, and moving on towards the management, and towards the taking care of the players, like the government involvement. So we have problems are deeply rooted, and to evict them, we have to remove them from the roots.
Alex, are you still there?
Yes, yes, you have given my opening remarks. I've said we have problems from
Mzalendo,
the
of course,
scouting.
Mzalendo, Kenya, we have not been performing in this international competition for a long time. You being one of the coaches we have in this country who has been nurturing talents from academies, and also making sure that we utilize the talents that we have. From all the time that we have been having the presidents of the Republic of Kenya, we have had Jomo Kenyatta, we have had Moi, we have had Kibaki, we have had Uhuru, now we have Ruto. Have you ever seen any government that is supporting sports industry in this Kenya? Zalendo, are you there?
Can you hear me, Bonnie? Can
Yeah,
you hear me? Now,
yeah.
anytime I'm adding, can, I'm getting a echo, some echo from my end. Are you guys getting an echo from my end?
No,
Echo. No.
no.
I'm getting a very, very serious echo. I can hear myself from. Mm, I can hear my voice bouncing back. But anyway, uh, let us focus on the issue of distance. Now, Harambee Stars largely has been struggling to get its form to ensure that we qualify for AFCONs and many other major tournaments. The main reason why Kenya is struggling in football is management and lack of government interest in the sport. I feel it's high time that we as Kenyans come together and give up solutions to the problems affecting Boni. This is a team that does not have a home ground to play in the first place. So that's a very major setback. So each and every time they're playing without any fans in the stadium. So that kind of team cannot rely on fans to perform. You know, in football, if you've ever played football, you want the crowd to cheer you up. That gives you momentum and the strength that you need on the finishing line. So after 90 minutes, you have the result when you are at home. When you are in a foreign country, you don't have that encouragement of the crowd. So that lack from our team Harambee Stars, and I hope it is something that we need to identify identify immediately how we can get the fans back to the stadium. Our standards of soccer have gone down. Even at club level, we have got only two, three clubs very competitive up in the league. That's Gor Mahia and sometimes FC Leopard. So majorly it is Gor Mahia that is very, very competitive. We need also to look at why other teams are not able to compete in the league and uh, and have fun coming to the stadium. So this involves a lot of marketing. Football is a big business. It's a very, very big business. And instead of taking people abroad to look for employment, this is a sector that can employ many, many youth. You know, if you have got a good study, there will be certificate guard employed whenever there is a matches that are coming. There will be groundsmen. There will be people who are employed from the health sector. Uh, we physiotherapy. So there is so much drivers. There is so much that comes to football that the government is ignoring. So we need to look at those things and see if we can all put our hands together and have a good team Kenya is proud of. That would be my opening.
Yes, Zalendo is saying that, and of course, in this country we are having these problems. And after William Ruto came into power, he gave Babu Nawamba the Ministry of Sports, a docket. Now you have Kipchumba Murkomen who is leading the sports docket. But still, we are suffering. We don't have stadiums. We don't have facilities. We don't have the best scouts. We don't have coach. I think we are having a lot of problems when it comes to Kenya. And if we get someone, the moment I have always been repeating this in Africa 24 Dimbal Africa, that the moment we are going to fix sports in this country, then I'm very sure then things are going to work on well. That is the time we are going to see
Only,
changes in this.
only just a minute. Alex, is my audio okay right now?
Yeah, yeah. Your audio is okay, Mzalendo. It has been okay.
Oh, okay, okay. Because Alex is telling me my audio is distorted.
Yes, it was a bit distorted.
It was a bit distorted. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Because I felt it from my end that my audio is distorted. Maybe I can just repeat my opening remarks so that you get more clarity in whatever I'm saying. The team Harambee Stars has been struggling for so many years right now, and we have not gotten our act right in matters football. One, because there's lack of a proper strategy right from the infrastructure of football. The infrastructure of football begins at the age of 8 years. I had done a proposal earlier on in many, many years on how we can improve soccer in Kenya. And the soccer should be it should be part of the syllabus. Sport, just like we have PE, sport should be part of the curriculum where students really excel in different fields and they are marked. So if you're good in basketball, if you're good in football, you get certificates that are recognized by institutions that you participated in this game. Many years ago, that used to happen. But today, I don't think there's a lot of emphasis on sport. Now, institutions like and colleges and companies that are that have huge financial assets and participate in corporate responsibility exercise. I should have at least some token, depending on the areas that they are located, dedicated to clubs that are growing within the locality. For example, if I live in Eastland, Eastland has got so many industries in Eastland. We have the industrial area where we have got so many companies. I strongly believe that in Nairobi alone, we should have very, very strong team supported by this company in the league, other than individuals supporting team, local football. You find that most politicians are the ones who actually organize local tournaments that are for upcoming youth. As I told you, football is a curriculum. It should start at the age of 8, preferably, if not 4. At the age of 8 years is where the curriculum should begin. Then you are taught it is a syllabus that you are taught how to pass the ball, how to cross the ball in many, many areas and disciplines that when you go outside Kenya or you turn professional, it is not when you are being taught how to control the ball. Now back to the main topic today is Harambee Stars and why we have failed to qualify for AFCON for many, many years. This goes back to our league again. Our league is not competitive. We have only a team called Gormaya that is very, very competitive in the league, and a few others that are trying to match the Gormaya. Because of Gormaya's fan base is what is propelling that club to be where it is right now. But if you had teams that propelled by tribe or regions where they come from, FC Leopards and Gor Mahia are propelled by tribe and region. This is the only way, this is the only place where tribe can be used possible to identify yourself with something that can help the growth of an industry. I said earlier on that sport is an industry that is very, very serious. And the government of President right now is not up there job in Qatar while we have an industry that is dying that only needs to inject some capital to revive it. So sports can be revived in the 47 counties so that we have regional leagues that are very, very that out can choose from the players in 47 counties. The day that you'll see a Somali from Mogadishu, Mandera playing the national team is the day you know that the day you see a Borana uh, from uh, Samburu playing in the national team, when you know that they have evolved. We have got players, but you have got only the tribe in the Luo and playing in the Medellin, and that's the problem. So there is a lot of talent out there that has not. Who tells you that Kenyan Indians cannot play? They play football there in Pakistan, but they have got a lot of talent. But this is talent that has not been supported. So there are no leagues in that that can bring to play for Harambee Stars. Those are the kind of infrastructure that is lacking. So if we have this infrastructure, then we will have a good side called Harambee Stars to be proud of. The women league is so well. We don't have so many teams in the women league. I'm proud to be part of the members of our women of a team that plays in the league. And many times we have organized tournaments from where I am to the next level in that perspective. So we need to put a lot of support. The government needs to come in. More government is somebody that was their league. I love football so much. I think it needs to come out strongly, choose the right team to support him in whatever venture or whatever he sees that should be improved in our league. But one thing I must emphasize is marketing. You cannot play football in an empty stadium. That is something that needs to be emphasized a lot. Football needs to be played in a stadium that is packed. That gives the momentum for the players and the drive to fight hard and win the league. It is sad that the coach who was manning Harambee Stars has to play all his games away because the Kenyan government and the corruption in the Kenyan government has given us uh, substandard grass in the stadium. So this is sad. This is very very sad. The situations in the stadium is pathetic. We have got substandard grass in most of the stadium. Nyayo Stadium is not recognized by FIFA. Now we have counties that people are excited to be part of the evolution. Now these counties have got stadiums. I've got stadiums, and those stadiums are not FIFA approved. These stadiums should be FIFA approved and FIFA standard stadiums. A lot of money running into billions are poured into this stadium, yet they cannot produce good quality stadiums, even for training. So we need to have variety of stadiums in each and every county that are standard to the FIFA standard, and not just building stadiums because you've been given money to build something. You build some stands there of about 5,000 capacity, and then you call it this is a stadium. Those are not stadiums. Those are not stadiums. We need to have stadiums in Kenya that are recognized by FIFA, and they have got good playing ground. I keep on emphasizing for the government to know that this is an industry that will encourage tourism, tourism in sport. A team like Uganda can come and camp in Kenya if they have got games at home to play, to train, and then later on fly back at home to play their games. Teams that are neighboring countries, if we have got good stadium, they will come here and good hotels. They will come here, bring that revenue, play in our good stadiums, and go back to their country to play. This is the only way you also attract tournaments like the CAFA, AFCON, and even the World Cup. So here we don't have anything that can even attract the smallest tournament called CAF. We need to work and put our acts together so that we have uh, something that we can be proud of in the name of football in our country. Thank you, Bonnie. That is my opening.
Yes, Mzalendo, you're saying that our Kenyan Premier League is not up to standard. But one thing I know about our Kenyan football is that we have not marketed our Premier League like the way we always see in the European country. That is one thing I always say, that our commercials in this country have done poor when it comes to making sure that our football is marketed. Because if you go to stadiums, when Gor Mahia is playing against Kariobangi, then you just see five fans attending. But when you go to European countries, for example, when you are watching championship by those teams in UK, you saw what happened in Euro 2024. You also saw what happened in the ongoing UEFA Nation League. When small teams are playing, small teams, I mean, for example, QPR, that is Queen Park Rangers, is playing against Stoke City. You'll see almost 30,000 fans attending the stadium. But when it comes to Kenya, Machakos, Kenyatta stadiums where we are hosting, for example, Nairobi City Stars play against Shabana, only 10 fans will attend. That shows how our league has not been marketed. We all complain about the Ministry of Sports because that is the center, that is the epicenter of the sports docket. So we are having a lot of challenges, but I think for our Kenyan Premier League to go ahead, let's market. You saw what happened in the Euro 2024, whereby the fans were close to even being at the stadium. I saw a match between Slovakia and Slovenia, whereby the fans were so close to Jan Oblak, and he's the goalkeeper. That means that league has been marketed. UEFA Nation League was marketed. The European countries, they know how to market their league. You see what is happening now in the UEFA Champions League, whereby we are having 36 teams. That shows how they are serious with marketing their league. They are not even focused with the fans and also players. They want to market Champions League. So I think that is the only thing that we need to do so that our league can move ahead and can match those other countries. Zimbabwe held Kenya to 1-1 draw, and Engin Firat, who is the coach of Harambee Stars, when he was asked, he slammed the government. He said that he doesn't have support from the government. There is no stadiums. There is no even home advantage, and then we are playing away and away. So he is also complaining that the government does not support sports docket. The government does not take sports as one of the serious ministries in this country the way it takes other ministries. But again, Kenyans always will complain. They are saying Engin Firat is a foreign coach. He should pack and go. Just to ask, Alex, do you think that Engin Firat is the worst coach we have had? Is he being affected by not having the home advantage, or the government does not support the sports industry? What do you think is the main reason that is making Kenyan football to go down?
First of all, I can't really say Engin Firat is the best coach we have in the country, or I can't say that he has established credibility to the point that he deserves the Kenyan job. But what I can say is that doing away with Engin Firat is not really the solution for our football as a country, because even if we do away with him, still it won't take away the fact that we haven't really been doing well on the international stages. As I said before, I was also speaking with someone earlier, and I was asking, like, name for me five players in the Harambee Stars national team who have more than 100 caps, and we weren't able to name five players with more than 100 caps for the country, which shows where we are as a country. So him lacking support from the government, yes, it's very true. I can give a good example of FKF chairperson, FKF president, who was Sam Nyamoya. Sam Nyamoya was there for a long while, and we didn't see any impact in the sports sector. We didn't see our leagues growing. We didn't see us having a strong national team which could compete, and he was there for a long while. So for me, I think there's something which is there even in the law, which there's always a push and pull between the rich and the poor. So the rich, they don't want the, the Kenyan league to grow. They want to stay there at the top and to eat the funds, and like for us, the people here on the ground, for us to normalize everything that happens. So I believe it's high time, Bonnie, us as the football lovers and the players, everyone, we stand together, and we fight against these malpractices that are happening in the country. I think that's the best thing we can do if we want to revive our soccer. If not so, we are going to continue with this trend that is happening, whereby the coach is not supported fully by the government, and scouting is not done. There are no proper structures, and above all, there is no funding being put in the sport, and the funds are being embezzled each and every time now and then. Stadiums are not working. So even if we still had the home advantage, we still wouldn't have done well, because everything is it's in a mess. I compare our team to the Chelsea team when Todd Boyle came in, and he chose to wipe out away all the players and to start afresh. So the club found itself in shambles. So right now they are trying to pick up the pieces. They're trying to lay down the structure. They are trying to build a strong team. So that's where we are, Kenya, as a national team, where Chelsea was 2 years ago, in shambles. So that's what I can say.
Yes. Do you think that Engin Firat is the worst coach that we have had? And who do you think is the perfect person to replace him in case he is sacked by the FKF board? Zalendo, Zalendo is not there. But anyway, we are discussing here the result whereby Kenya was held into 1-1 draw by Zimbabwe. Kenya is now out of the World Cup, out of the AFCON 2025 qualifiers in Morocco. And those are the international competitions that we should always feature in. Tanzania, if Tanzania qualifies, then why not Kenya? If Tanzania is performing well in this international competition, we saw them in Ivory Coast, whereby we had the Africa Cup of Nations that was won by the host, of course, Ivory Coast. But Tanzania, they proved to the East Africa countries that they can and they are good. So why not Kenya? With over 50 million people, does it mean that we don't have talent? Does it mean that we are not a serious country when it comes to sports? So this is a big question which we are asking people in this country and the stakeholders and a lot of people who are involved in this sports industry. But sports is very diverse. Sports is wide. We have different kind of sports, and a lot of sports are being invented in this world. But when it comes to soccer, football, our Kenyan team has not been performing well. Our Kenyan team has been struggling. Our Kenyan team has not been making this country's Kenyan flag to fly high. So we're asking, what is the main problem? What do you think is the main problem that is affecting Harambee Stars? Is it the coach, the board, the government, or who do you think is the person who is involved directly to this player? Maybe there is someone who is affecting the players, because I saw the first goal that was scored by Zimbabwe, and that was a very easy goal for a country like Kenya to be given that punishment. It's now confirmed Kenya is out of this AFCON 2025 qualifier. In 2027, we are having this AFCON bid. Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. Alex, do you think that we shall be ready for AFCON 2027? Are these stadiums going to be ready for 2020?
So let me give Kipchumba Murkomen the benefit of doubt because I'm a strong follower of football, and he recently they launched the Talanta Stadium, and he spoke about it being finished. They laid down the structure, they working on the soil and the grass to finish up the Talanta Stadium. They also spoke about stadiums like Nyayo and Kasarani being finished by 2025. So at least we are seeing a cabinet secretary who is pulling the strings to try and implement some things to try and bring change in the country. So I believe we will have some stadiums before the 2027 election. So let's support Kipchumba Murkomen. Let's tell him the challenges which we are facing as sports people, and I believe he will attain to them. And with time, we will start seeing some changes. But I give Kipchumba the benefit of doubt. I believe he is outdoing Ababu Namwamba because under Ababu Namwamba things were just running normally without any accountability, no development, no nothing. But at least with Kipchumba, we are starting to see the stadiums being built. So hopefully he finishes it. We'll give him his flowers.
So you think Kipchumba Murkomen is the right person who can lead this sports ministry?
From the look of things, if we follow up on the internet, Bonnie, we'll see Kipchumba speaking about development of stadiums, and Talanta Stadium is being worked on. and before the 2027 election, we are going to look into it to see whether he has delivered or not. But as I said, I want to be positive and believe that he will finish those stadiums before the 2027 election. And unlike Babu Namamba, I didn't hear so much about soccer, or maybe he did and he wasn't accounting. But under Kipchumba, I'm hearing him speaking time in and time out about stadiums being built, and also I've seen him supporting some of the other different sports ministries in the country, not only football and not only the men's sports, but I see him trying to balance and trying to support and inspire the sports sector to grow. So hopefully we see change. That's what I'm hoping for. As a patriot, as a sports guy, I'm hoping to see change.
You're hoping to see change, but you when you focus with the stadiums and which club did Murkomen participate so that we can give him a sports docket?
Pardon the question.
So Murkomen alicheza club gani ndio tukampatia Minister of Sports? Alicheza hata Ruji ama alicheza nini?
I wouldn't say necessarily that he has played professional sports for him to get that job. But it's about Bonnie having the right policies. It's about being principled. It's about bringing change. Because Kipchumba is also a sports guy. If you have seen him many times, he's always seen running, and so he's a Kalenjin. So I want to assume he knows something to do with athletics. And as I said, it's about policy. It's not just about being qualified as a sports person for you to get that job, because it also needs brains for you to be able to implement those policies. So that's what I can say.
That is quite interesting to hear. But of course, we are just asking, who do you think is the perfect person to replace Engin Firat? And of course, from what you are hearing, is that we are having a lot of problems. There is no courts, there is no stadiums. So, who do you think is the perfect person to replace Engin Firat? Engin Firat has been there for a long time, but still, it's not a person that we should always give that flowers. So, who do you think is the perfect person to replace Firat? Can we just go for Mariga ama tuchukue wanyama akitoka huko anachezea tumlete kwa timu? Nani ataingia pale?
Currently, right now, Bonnie, I can't really say I have seen anything from a coach here in Kenya or even outside whom I can say is qualified to get that job. In my wildest dreams, I would want us to have somebody like Thomas Tuchel or Carlo Ancelotti here in the country, but obviously we can't access them, or even Zinedine Zidane. So currently, I haven't seen anything from anyone that I can say is fit for the job. And yes, we can put Mariga, but Mariga has been good for the national team. But what has he shown us as a footballing coach that we can say Mariga should get the job? Has he gone to study it to get that knowledge? I haven't heard about it. So, being a good footballer doesn't equate to you being a good coach. We have seen Frank Lampard, one of the best midfielders in the in the Premier League history, and he hasn't had a good managerial career. So, being a good footballer doesn't necessarily mean you'll be a good coach. So, currently, I don't have a candidate that I can nominate for the Kenyan national team job.
Currently, there is no. But anyway, from what I think is that we are having a lot of problems. There is no one. Even when you go to, let's go for the legends. If we don't have even the FKF elections going on well. We saw what happened during the county election, whereby some of the counties, and in these branch elections, it is where we are having this recruitment, whereby we are having these delegates who are going to vote for the FKA president on December 7th. But still, we're having problems. These infrastructures were not delivered well in those counties. A lot of things were happening during the county elections on Friday. I'm still wondering what is the main problem that is affecting sports in this country. Because I think some of the countries, I was talking to one of my friends who works in one media house, and he was telling me that he was at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport receiving the under 17 Women World Cup coming from Dominican Republic. And what she got from those girls, they frankly told her that during those World Cup qualifiers, they were eager to join World Cup. But when they went there, they met girls who started training for World Cup since at the age of 8. But in our country, you go to high school, that is when your talent is spotted, then we go and make that under 17. There is no specific academy that makes under 17 women and men. We are just trying things, try and error. So I think we are having a lot of problems. So who is going to save us? Who? Mzalendo, who do you think is going to save us?
I mean, can you hear me, Bonnie?
Yeah.
There are many people who can save Harambee Stars or can save soccer in Kenya. Some of them are former soccer players. Some of them are just good managers. Right now, we have a good candidate who is running for office. In fact, there are two of them. I know one specifically that I can talk of. That is Hussein Mohammed. It's called Hussein Mohammed. Hussein is somebody that I have seen what he has done, and I worked closely with him when he started this Super 8 tournament. His passion for football and the success of that tournament proved that he can bring young footballers together to play the game. So he has been tested, and that was one of the most successful tournaments in the history of Kenya, organized by an individual that incorporated big companies to come and sponsor the tournament. Apart from just being a good manager, he understands the game in terms of marketing. So Hussein is somebody who can bring some good changes in football. Nick Mwenda, I don't know why he lost it at some point. Nick Mwendwa is somebody who has run a club called Kariobangi Sharks. So for him, I am still not very sure where he lost his ambition to have a successful FKF career as the president. So or maybe the people that is surrounding Nick have no passion for the game, but other than what they are pocketing from the federation. Those are some of the things that are disturbing. That if somebody can answer me, I'd be very glad, because this is somebody who not only has a club that he supports, but is somebody who has played the game. So
Which
having
club?
played the game, yeah.
Which club has even performed in international competition? You just even kama ni club pia mimi nimecheza zile za huko kambani bwana.
You see, unajua kucheza ball Kenya lazima ukuwe ushaona kadi ya FKF. Kuna kadi unapewa kama unacheza ball. Sisi tulikuwa tunapewa kadi ya nini ya KFF then under Sam Nyamwea. So hii kadi kama hujawahi pewa Mr. Boni, then wewe ball yako ni ile ya karatasi ama ya juala ile ulikuwa unacheza na unatuambia umecheza ball. Kama hujacheza ball ukavaa uniform na ukavaa boots na ukaona katikati kuna referee amevaa nguo nyeusi na kiwanja iko marked na net imewekwa kwa kiwanja, bado hujacheza ball. Kama hujacheza katika stadium ya huku ushago kwenyu, kama wewe ni Mkamba, kama hujacheza Machako Stadium, bado uko chini, bado hujacheza league. Unaona, so league ya ball is progressive. Unaanza mtaani, unaingia kwa viwanja kubwa kubwa. That is how unajua umecheza ball. Kama hujacheza Nyayo, sisi watu wale wamecheza Nyayo tutakwambia bado uko mbali kidogo. Ama City Stadium, Boni, umecheza City Stadium?
City Stadium ni hii tu yenye iliharibiwa na Governor Sakaja.
Hii City Stadium ya hapa katikati, hiyo ndio ilikuwaga home ground ya timu ya Gor Mahia, hiyo City. So hiyo City Stadium imekuwa home ground ya timu ya Gor Mahia for a very long time. Na ndio mahali Gor ilikuwa na train, lakini sasa hii timu iliama, niliwacha kama wanacheza kwa artificial turf. The only artificial turf in Eastlands then. Sasa hizi ziko mbili, courtesy of Makongeni MCA and the majority leader Peter Imatok, my friend, akona artificial turf amejengea vijana pale hiyo mtaa yake, nafikiri ni hii iko hapo mahali ndakumbuka jina yake, but amejenga artificial turf hapo, na kuna moja iko Jericho. So Eastlands kuna artificial turf mbili, zile mimi nazijua. Gor Mahia inachezea moja ya huko Jericho, but you can know when these things were started, hii ya Jericho ilitengenezwa na former MP Ben Mutura. Yeye ndiye alitengeneza hiyo artificial turf hiyo ya Jericho, na timu mingi sana. Ukienda kama leo ilikuwa weekend, ukitaka kuona mpira ya mtaani unaenda pale una watch ball, watu wanacheza ball. Now those grounds are managed by the locals, and you pay a fee to play in that field. So ukilipa hiyo fee pia inasaidia kwa maintenance ya kiwanja, na pia jamaa wanapata kitu kidogo, wale vijana wa pale mtaani. So hivyo ndio ball inaandika watu kazi, ajira kidogo kidogo, watu wanapata kazi.
Mzalendo anasema Kenya lazima ung'ang'ane kutoka grassroots level, but during this grassroots competition, that is when we don't have even anyone from the national team going there to even scout for Chapa Dimba. We have Chapa Dimba that has been happening. We also have secondary school games that happened recently in Kisii. Chapa Dimba for Safaricom happened. No one still went there. We have even
the fact that you did see people being selected. I can tell you, because I follow football very closely. The last teams that participated in the school games, the secondary school ball games, there were a lot of scouts, and some of the players trickled back to the Premier League. Wachezaji wengi sana, they got call-ups in Gor Mahia, FC Leopards, and Tusker. They got call-ups. So and even Harambee Stars. So that is important. And but now, during my time when we were playing soccer, this is something interesting that you'd learn. During our time when we were playing soccer, you'd find that we had like in the Form 6, the Form 6 players, or Form 5, or even Form 4 players, you'd find people who are playing in the national team, and you are in the same school. You are in the same school. I used to play with people who are playing in. I witnessed people who are playing in Harambee Stars, and they're in school. I played with people who are playing in Kenya Breweries and in Henry Botego. I played with Michael Koth. Michael Koth, the father of Divo Korigi. Yeah, when he was in Itirio. This is somebody who was in Itirio High School, and he was playing for Shabana FC, and he's also in the national team. Michael John Motego. Motego was playing for Itirio High School, and he's also in Shabana FC, and he's in the national team. I can mention Tony Luanga playing for Kakamega High, and he's also in the national team, and at the same time playing for FC Leopards. But look at this. These guys were identified by one called Fabish. Fabish was the coach of Harambee then. Fabish identified very young players, people like Cantona. They came in from the Fabish scouting. And that is when football was revitalized in Kenya, and we lost it. I remember the big game between Burkina Faso and Kenya at Kasarani National Stadium. At that game, I think it went to 4-3. And Michael Kott scored the winner. You could see the stadium was packed. And Burkina Faso, after that game, they went and restructured their game. Today, if you look at the FIFA ranking between Kenya and Burkina Faso, they are way ahead of us, way ahead of us. But these are teams that we could beat very, very easily, and we were at par. But they have overtaken us in each and every soccer tournament that is organized in Africa and around the globe. Their players are playing in major leagues around the world. Now, if you don't have players playing in the professional league, either in Europe or in America, and in Asia, then there's a problem. There's a problem. Look, if you look at the Nigerian national team, the Nigerian national team has got a good side. Over 400,000 players are playing worldwide in different leagues, and they only select from major leagues. They have not even gone to select from small division teams that in Europe. They select from from the big league, the Serie A, the La Liga, the Bundesliga, and the Premier League. So when you have players playing at that level is up there. So you will have that kind of talent being shown when they meet a team like Kenya. They are professional players. The difference between a professional player and an amateur player is one. A professional player is somebody who every other day they wake up, play football, their diet is taken care of, they have a physician on board, and that is all they do every other day. Remember, you waking up in the morning, kazi yako ni kuenda kwa kiwanja ucheze ball, na kuna dietitian hapo anakupatia diet, wewe ni unakula vile unakula vizuri. This player endurance yake na player ule amateur ule ametoka Kitui kama Boni ni tofauti sana, amekula bodokoi na huyu player ni they are very very parallel, and they are very very far much apart, sorry, and you can't match them. Yeah.
Yes, that is Mzalendo. And of course, this is Africa 24. We are here discussing some of things that really made Kenya struggle and got evicted from the AFCON 2025 qualifiers. Who do you think is the perfect person to replace Eugene Pirati, who is the head coach of Harambee Stars? And what is the problem? How can we make these Harambee Stars move ahead? What is the future of Harambee Stars? Because I think we are having a long way to go. So that is why we are asking, what is the future of Harambee Stars? Because Kenya is still struggling with development, economy, ministries. Everything is in a total mess. So if you're following us for the first time, you can join us live in Africa 24 and also through the link that we have shared here. And if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, go there, like, comment, and subscribe to Africa 24. Kenya versus Zimbabwe reactions. Of course, we are still getting the views from different Kenyans who are saying that they really want Eugene Firat to leave the team with an immediate effect. Immediate effect. That is why they are saying this coach has been making a lot of mistakes that counts for the Harambee Stars, which is the national team of the Kenya Republic. So, Alex, I had asked you a question here, and just as we went up this one, I just want to ask you, Alex. We are having a lot of problems in this country. Does it mean that the problems that we have in this country are the ones that have been transferred to the Ministry of Sports? Because these cabinet secretaries are also nominated by the president. Does it mean that the politics have also got into sports? Alex is not there, but
Pardon, Bonnie. I had an issue with the internet. So what were you saying?
are you still there or you're sleeping?
Not
We're asking
sleeping.
who is the politics the major thing that has affected sports in this country?
Yes, politics is a big issue because that's where we expect to receive the funding to ensure smooth running in the game of sports. And football here in the country has been, not just football, sports in general has been majorly neglected by the governments, and they have overlooked the fact that it's a multi-million business which can be generating so much income for the country. So it's just up to the footballers and the the sports people to try and do one or two things to be able to support themselves. But in general, the government is not supporting. So that's my take.
But anyway, this was just a bit of what happened in the AFCON 2025 qualifiers, whereby Kenya finished in a very bad position. Kenya was in third position after Cameroon, Zimbabwe, and Namibia. But anyway, that shows that the first two are going to automatically qualify for AFCON 2025 qualifiers that is going to happen in Morocco and the cities of Marrakech, whereby we are going to have this AFCON 2025. Kenya needs a lot of renovation when it comes to sports industry. That is all what I can say when it comes to football in this country. And in order to develop this sports industry, in order to make our Kenyan team shine, we need to start from the top to the bottom. We need to also focus with the grassroots talents so that we can also integrate them in our national team. And of course, as we finalize on this, Mzalendo, do you think that Kenya will once play in World Cup? Because you see, in the South American countries, I was watching a replay whereby Uruguay won 3-2 against Colombia, and the winning goal was scored by one of the Manchester United midfielder who was playing for Paris Saint-Germain, and he came to Manchester United, that is Manuel Ugarte. And the match was awesome. I remember what happened, whereby Uruguay just came from behind and they scored against Colombia. Although the first 6 teams in the South American countries are going to automatically qualify for the FIFA Under-17 World Cup. Argentina, of course, it sits at the top of the standing with 22 points. I saw number 2 Colombia. Brazil lies in the third position after it was said 1-1 draw the day before yesterday. So those are World Cup qualifiers. Zalendo, do you think that one day Kenya will feature in the World Cup? That is Mzalendo. No, Mzalendo is a bit busy, but this is Kenya. We need to transform this country. We need to make sure
Bonnie, what are
that
you
our
saying?
country.
Bonnie, Sama.
I'm asking, do you think that Kenya will one day play in the FIFA World Cup? Harambee Stars will one day play.
Okay. We need a lot of. I think to give you a definite answer is that we will not be able to play in the World Cup in the next in the next World Cup. This World Cup that is coming, that one we are already out. But we can try to play in the next World Cup. The World Cup that is coming to America, definitely, even if we qualify, we will not be a competition. We will not be able to give the kind of competition that people want to see in the World Cup because of our football. Our football is deteriorating very drastically, and it needs to be revived. So, qualifying is another thing to play in the World Cup. Performing in the World Cup is also something else. So, when you call out teams like Uruguay and Colombia, these are teams which have got good foundation at club level, and you know of the clubs that are coming from those particular countries. They are very, very strong clubs, and they play in the Euro Cup, and and they perform even in Copa America. These teams really do perform, and they have maintained the rivalry. Today in Kenya, even our neighbors Uganda, we don't have that rivalry that used to be there. Even when we are playing against Tanzania, Kenyans are seated at home drinking alcohol and having fun. They don't even care that Harambee is playing against Tanzania because people lost hope in the game. It is now time to revive that hope of football, and the only way to revive it is by electing the right officials come December 7th. Elect the right people who have got passion in the game, who will create structures that can be able to market the football both at grassroots level and up there at international level, because if you play in on the grassroots level, you have to at least come up and play at club level, then you go international. So we need more people doing courses that are related to football, coaching, so that people can get the licenses for coaching, so that you know that this is the kind of subject that you are teaching, both locally and at college level, so and at club level. So football, as I had told you earlier, it is a syllabus that has to be, you have to learn as a coach. So if you have a coach that has got passion in the game, but they have not learned the skills of coaching, then you'll have standards which are very, very poor. We need most of our coaches going out there. The local coaches, the Matanos, the Zedekiah, Otieno, the likes of Ghost Mulay, the local coaches should venture outside the country and coach other teams. In Europe, even try and apply for these jobs in Europe, so that you get some knowledge, so that you broaden and open your mind on how the game is played. So if you only watch coaches on TV and you've not participated even as an assistant, or even in the technical bench of Arsenal, or the technical bench in in Super Eagles, the Nigerian team, then you are still not there as a coach. You are still not ranked. So most of our coaches are not ranked because they have not won any major tournament apart from the local league tournaments that we play. They need to win regional tournaments and even African tournaments. That is where we have also a problem. Hello, you are lost again. Hello?
I think there's something with his internet.
Zalendo is saying that we are having problem with these countries, and also we will not feature in the next World Cup. Waiting to see if Kenya will one day play in the World Cup, because I will be happy to see that, but it will take us century. That was a wrap of what happened in the football area, whereby Kenya is now eliminated. Will not play in the World Cup after what happened. Cameroon home and away. We lost to Cameroon. Zimbabwe, we lost to Zimbabwe, a very small country, and we are still here struggling as a nation. That is a wrap on that topic. Just wanted to discuss about Kenyan football generally, because Kenya lost, and Kenya lost to a very small country, a country that you cannot compare to Kenya. But meanwhile, sports guys, we meet again on the Dimba Show, whereby we always talk about sports from grassroots up to European countries. In the Dimba Show, we are always talking about analysis, EPL, Bundesliga, those European countries, and also our Kenyan football. We always analyze all those. Back to the politics, Gachagua received a warm welcome in Embu after his impeachment. Today we saw the former president of the Republic of Kenya, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Today we saw Gachagua, Ruto, Waititu sharing same podium. Although Gachagua, he was received with a lot of calmness in Embu, although it is a Mount Kenya region, but these guys meeting together in the same podium, then it tells you politics in Kenya is a mind game.
So viongozi pia muheshimu wananchi na watarudisha hiyo heshima. Kwa hivyo mimi nataka nifikishie hapo. My friend, my Lord Bishop, unajua sasa hata kama wanakukaribisha hapa, mimi nimepoteza rafiki. Siwezi kuwa na mtu nitakuwa tukicheka na yeye. Sasa namuogopa kwa sababu najua amepandishwa cheo. anaweza kufunga maombi huko juu, so mimi nitakuwa namwangalia sasa kutoka kwa mbali, kwa sababu sasa amekuwa mdozi. Lakini nataka nikuhakikishie, ukisha settle down, anytime unaweza utualike, tuje tuungane na wewe na wenzetu wa Embu, tujenge kanisa la Mungu. Sisi tuko tayari na tutaendelea kushirikiana, na nakuhakikishia mimi sitalete siasa kwa kanisa. Mimi nitakuja mchango tu, ama yale mengine utakuwa unaniitia. Kwa hivyo anytime, always feel free kutukaribisha na sisi tu.
Yes, that is the former president of the Republic of Kenya, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, speaking today in Embu. Mzalendo, and just on a point of view, why do you think they just met at Embu? Is it a game plan? Does it mean that even those who investigate, they didn't know that Gachagua is going there, Ruto, Uhuru, and maybe Kenyans can cause chaos? Why did they meet at Embu? Ama ni game wanatuchezea?
Are you asking
Alex,
a question?
yeah.
Unless you know the meeting at Embu, Boni, that is not the right question to ask. The meeting at Embu was, there was a bishop who was being ordained in Embu. That's the reason why everybody was in Embu. And
So does
remember
it mean
this
that they didn't know that they are going there? You know, Kenyans perceive them as enemies.
Oh, that's what you're asking. Politicians are not enemies. These are friends. They do business together. You think that they are enemies? Tomorrow, Juan Gachagua will be calling William Ruto in his office, you know, to do business. They live a normal life. Watu kosana na wanarudiana. So ni hao pia wanasiasa pia iko hivyo. It is not permanent. It's not permanent. Who thought that Uhuru Kenyatta will one day talk to William Ruto, or who thought that Raila Odinga will one day talk to William Ruto? So we are the people who are played around with. We are the ones who take politics personal to an extent that you can die for a politician. That is stupidity. Yeah, so many people who support this politician think that politicians are actually part of their life. It's a matter of life and death. It is not a matter of life and death. Politicians don't really care much about you, but what they can take home sometimes. Not all of them are that bad, but a good number of them only take care of themselves and their families. Mhm.
Yes,
So,
that is Mzalendo is saying that they are friends. Alex, do you think? Why do you think they met there? Does it mean that they are still together despite what we have been seeing on the ground?
For me, I will second what Zalendo has said. They went there for a purpose, and I wouldn't say the purpose was the purpose was political. There is that bishop was being ordained, and they went there, and we also saw the president coming out to explain to us about Shah, and he tried to speak to the crowd and explain some few things about the social health authority, but the crowd was not agreeing to what he was saying. So what I can say is that mm, I don't really like listening or watching to these things that politicians speak because they are not of interest. They are not speaking about things of the development of this country, but they are speaking more of political things. So that's why when they start talking about things that are not of interest to me things of developing the people and the places they are in, then I quickly shut down.
Mwaka ujao nitakuwa hapa. Mambo yenu ya maji, mambo yenu ya barabara, mambo yenu ya stima, masomo ya watoto wetu, niko na mambo hiyo yote na tutakuja tuseme wakati huo. Nataka tu nimwambie kiongozi wetu aliyestaafu Rais Uhuru Kenyatta, ile kazi uliniwachia mimi nang'ang'ana nayo mbaya sana, nasukuma kusukuma. Na pale kwa CBC tulianza mambo ya elimu mpya, mfumo mpya 2017. Nataka niseme kufikia sasa, next year tunaenda grade 9 na tayari tumenunua vitabu ya watoto wetu wa grade 9 1-to-1. Wabunge hawa wanajenga madarasa 5,000. Serikali kuu inajenga madarasa 11,000. Tayari tumeajiri walimu mpya wa JSS 46,000, na tena mwaka huu, mwisho wa mwaka huu, this December, saa hizi tunaajiri walimu wengine 20,000 ambao watatusaidia kusomesha watoto wetu tukisonga mbele. My friend, the fourth president, uliniwachia ile kazi ya affordable housing. Mimi sasa nasukumana na hiyo affordable housing. Hata hapa Embu tayari iko 80% ambayo tumefanya. Tunajenga nyumba 1,160 tayari inaendelea sehemu tofauti tofauti katika taifa letu la Kenya. Na hiyo kazi nasukuma kwa sababu ndio itaweza kutupatia nafasi ya ajira na iweze kutusaidia kupeleka taifa letu la Kenya mbele. Vile vile katika mambo ya matibabu, jana tumezungumza mambo ya matibabu ya universal health coverage. Hata mimi nikitoka hapa saa hizi, mimi nitapitia kwa hospitali hapa Embu, kwa sababu nataka nihakikishe ya kwamba vile tulikubaliana na hao wananchi, mambo ya matibabu isiwe starehe ya watu wadosi, iwe ni haki ya kila mwananchi wa taifa letu la Kenya. Na hiyo kazi nitahakikisha, kwa sababu tulianzisha pale ikawa na matatizo, lakini mimi nataka niwahakikishie wa Kenya na niwahakikishie wa maaskofu wetu, vile wametusahihisha kwamba kuna makosa hapa na pale, hiyo makosa tutarekebisha, kwa sababu universal health coverage is a must do, because indeed it will make the difference and make sure no citizen is left behind. Kwa hivyo watu wa Embu, vile mumesikia askofu wetu wamesema na vile viongozi wengine wamesema, tutashirikiana kwa pamoja, tuungane, tuweke umoja na tupange vile nchi yetu ya Kenya itasonga mbele. Kwa hivyo nataka niwachie hapo kwa leo na niwaambie nitarudi tena. Ndio
tarudi tena, anasema tarudi tena. Huyo ni Rais William Samoei Ruto akiwa Embu. He was speaking to the congregation there where a lot of people attended, and William Ruto was together with the other leaders, and he spoke in front of William, that is the former president Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. He said that what Uhuru Kenyatta left, he is still trying to push it. He's still trying to make the country work, whereby he's implementing a lot of laws, a lot of projects in these countries, and also he's trying to transform Kenya into a modernized country. It's trying to solve the debts that we have, debts that I'm very sure if Uru was in a position to answer those questions, then he would have said that he left Kenya in a good condition. Mzalendo, do you think that why do you think that Ruto always speaks without fear? Because even the way he is speaking in front of the former president, then he is the face expression can tell you that this president is brave. Why is he brave when he's speaking to his former boss,
Ruto,
despite what happened?
Ruto comes from the Kalenjin community. His name is named after one of the gallant soldiers of the Kalenjin community, Koitolel Arab Somail. So that is Ruto's name. Ruto has always been confronting issues head on. He is not new to controversy or is not new to facing his enemies head on. He will not shy away from attending functions where he knows clearly that is not popular. I remember when he attended the BBI function at Bomas, yet he was the vice president of, he was the deputy president of one Uhuru Kenyatta, and he defied all odds. He was not invited, and he came and he spoke, and he teared the BBI into pieces, and that was the death of BBI. That was the death of BBI. So Ruto is somebody who will always come out to express what he feels about a particular opinion. So he will not shy out. You have seen him saying that he was confronted by the church, and he's working on it. Although I did not come out clearly to tell Kenyans what he's doing about the killings that are happening and abductions that are happening in Kenya. It is not clear that he is going to act on the issues. And even the church needs to keep on pressing. So it seems that this is the only that Ruto only listens to the clergy. So we want to see him taking action. We want to see him recognizing recognizing that the situation in Kenya needs to be addressed urgently, and people need to have closure in places where bodies were found, like Shakahola. We need to know where the missing youths are. We need to know where people like Maverick Aoko are being held incommunicado. Nobody knows where they are up to today. Their parents have not been have been reluctant to come out and speak about it because they have been silenced or they are scared to come out. So we need Kalonzo and his group to come out very, very strongly on this particular issue, because this is the most important issue that is happening in our country. Forget about the politics. The abduction is the major issue that is in Kenya today, and the people of Kenya need this addressed and addressed urgently, because we can't go on in a country where policemen come grab you and take you to custody, or even not even to custody. They kill you in some instances. You are killed, never to be found again. This is a country where we have seen people being boiled, in, people being boiled in pots, and their bodies are found. Mtu amechukua nafasi akapika binadamu mwenzake. Look at the kind of people who are in Kenya today. These are not human beings, and we need to have some kind of closure on these particular issues that are affecting our country. So if you move if you are in Kenya and you are moving freely, thinking that you are in a country of rule and law, then I am very, very sorry, Bonnie. This is a country where people have been killed, some have been maimed, others are missing, and we are still happy and rejoicing that we have political leaders. It is sad that we are in such a situation as a country. We need to think about our country. We need to have closure in some of these issues. So that is what I advocate for, that the bodies of these people who are missing, we need to find them and bury them decently. Uh, we cannot continue losing so many young people who would have been very, very productive. Some of them who are in college, in campuses, their bodies are still missing up to date. Then we have a vice president who was elected the other day, who was in charge of security. So you see now where we are as a country. We have elected a vice president who was not vetted properly in parliament, and he presided over the killings of so many young people in Kenya. That is very, very sad, and we cannot have a country like that. William Ruto was elected, and he said that he's going to protect the lives of people. You have seen in this country policemen coming in broad daylight, grabbing you and putting you in a Subaru or in a van, and you'll not be seen again. Mm? You'll not be seen again, and we are happy. The president comes every day, goes to church. Every other Sunday, tomorrow he'll be in church. He's just okay. Other leaders are just okay with it. The ODM leader, former political leader Raila Odinga, is also happy with it. They don't really care. The parliamentarians are there. All they care is about their money that they get. So we need a restructuring in Kenya. We need a complete overhaul of government officials, especially the leaders that we have elected. So until that is done, we will not have sanity in our politics. But I am glad that hao wanasiasa wanakorofishana wenyewe. I am glad that Gashaga was kicked out because he was so a nuisance with the tribal rhetorics, talking about his community, the Kikuyu, all the time. Now we can go back to the Kikuyu community and bring them back as a package so that we can elect somebody who will be able to look at Kenya as a country with more than 47 counties and more than 42 tribes. So that is the kind of leadership that we want. Look at William Ruto. Every day you wake up, he has appointed somebody from his community. We don't really care whether you appoint the entire Kalenjin community into government, but let them also deliver to the people of Kenya. Let them also stop being corrupt. You know, and now we have a government of national. It's called what government? It has a name there, a broad-based
Devon.
government, like a broad-based government. Now we have a broad-based government that is between ODM and UDA. Let ODM be in government. Ensure that the services are streamlined in government. Make sure that the health sector is good. Don't be in government and pretend that you are also in the opposition. ODM, kama mko kwa serikali, kaeni huko kwa serikali. Muache kujifanya mko kwa serikali na tena mnarudi pande hii ingine kwa upinzani. Kaeni kwa serikali ya William Ruto. Kenyans will deal with you and William Ruto when the right time comes. If you do a good job, then you'll be re-elected. But don't pretend that you are in government and at the same time fighting the same government.
Yes, don't pretend. Mzalendo is saying that if ODM wako huko wakae huko kwa gava. Alex, what do you think that William Ruto spoke brilliantly and with a lot of courage in front of Gachagua, in front of Uhuru, who was his former boss, and of course you saw how he was mistreated during the second term.
First of all, what I can say is that if you're the head of state, you're in a position where you dictate everything, and right now there's no one in Kenya who is above William Ruto, even Uhuru Kenyatta. We saw even after them being elected, we saw some things happening to Uhuru. His farm was raided, and his kids were being attacked. So that shows you that if you're the head of state, you are in charge of everything, and everyone is below you according to the type of country we have right now. So for you to say Ruto is speaking with confidence, yes, he is, because he knows there's nothing you can do to him. Uh, Yesterday on Friday, I went to cover him in Tangaza University, and what I can tell you, Bonnie, is that the security was extremely tight, to the point that there, when I was behind the scenes shooting the video, I was being surrounded by security people. So that shows you how much the president is being protected. So right now, no one is above Ruto. Ruto is above everyone in Kenya, and he can even come for you right now, Bonnie, and tomorrow we won't find you. That's how much powerful he is. So for him to speak with confidence, yes, he can speak with confidence, Bonnie, because he's the head of state. Uh, and for me, the issue that I have with him and this government of his is that they have to do so much explanation for us to understand their philosophy and their policies. I see Isaac Mwaura, I see Opio and I see even Ruto, I see Kipchumba Murkomen. I see them doing a lot of talking, trying to explain to us the things they are doing, and of which it shouldn't be that way, because if you're doing what is good, we will see it. Waswahili wanasema kizuri chajiuza, kibaya chajitembeza. For us, Bonnie, we don't need to hear Ibrahim Traore speaking each and every time, explaining to us the things that are happening in the things he's implementing in Burkina Faso. We are seeing them. The things are doing. They are widespread. Tunazijua from anywhere you are in Africa. You know Ibrahim Traore is doing good. So if this government is really doing good, they don't really have to keep on explaining to the citizens. Tutajionea tu si wenyewe. So if they have to come out and explain, it's because they're not doing their work diligently. They're serving Kenyans 50-50. They serve us a bit, they steal. They serve, they steal, so that they can have something to try and lie to Kenyans in the 2027 election. That's my take.
Kithure Kindiki, of course, he was there and he spoke, but this was the first time these two guys met. That is the former DP Gachagua and Kithure Kindiki in that meeting. And of course, Kithure Kindiki is the one who welcomed William Ruto to speak. But the former president Uhuru Kenyatta said that the people who are in power, they should respect the people of Kenya. We should not have this kind of tribalism that we are having. We should also stop mishandling Kenyans. You know, he spoke. I thought Raila Molo Odinga will be present in that meeting, because if we had Raila, Uhuru, Ruto, Gachagua, Kindiki, then we will be in a good state to know what is happening in this country, because they never spoke about the current situation in the country, but just having them in one podium, it tells you a lot about Kenyan politics. Kenyan politics is a mind game, and if you take it serious, the same way Mzalendo said that they are always friends behind the scenes, but when it comes to the ground, then they are fighting each other. Alex, do you think that Of course, I want to take this from Zalendo. Zalendo, do you think that Kidure Kindiki qualifies for the
Qualified.
DP position in this country?
No, by virtue of his education, by virtue of his experience, he's qualified for that particular position. The thing is that does he have integrity to be in that particular position? The answer is no. This is somebody who presided over the killings of young Kenyans. He ought not to be in that particular position. That has always been my stand. When young people went out to demonstrate, which is protected in the Constitution of Kenya, they were just carrying water, their mobile phones, and handkerchiefs, and they were killed. Some are missing to date. When you express your opinion in Kenya, freedom of speech, this is something that people fought for very hard, and some people lost their lives then. To repeal Section 2A of the Constitution of Kenya and to allow multi-party democracy was good enough to allow freedom of speech and freedom of expression when we got the 2010 Constitution. So it is a violation of the Constitution of Kenya. It is something that most people would tell you that Kidura Kindiki should not be anywhere in government. Even the current speaker Wetangula should not be anywhere in government. But that is the kind of republic that we have. Even William Ruto, yeah, if cases were to be revived and people look into what these people have done, then they should be people who are not who should not hold any public office, yeah, because of the things that they have done before. Unapologetically, they have not even apologized to the people of Kenya. So for me, Kiduri Kindiki, I don't know what value he will add to William Ruto's government, but this is a currency that I repeat has got no value. Just like ODM joining government, this is also another useless currency that has got no value to the people of Kenya. Right now, politicians should know that they are dealing with a more educated lot of Kenyans, more informed, and there are various ways of communicating in Kenya today. We have got all the social media platforms, including this one we are here today, Freak 24, that we can relay our messages, we can say what we want, and we can tell the government what they need to do. I told you, Bonnie, on this same platform that William Ruto had got the best chance to become one of the best presidents in Africa, but he lost it when the Gen Zs gave him an opportunity to rectify the mess in government. He instead invited people in ODM into his government to stabilize the government. So we have now a cocktail of corrupt leaders, both from ODM and UDA. So he didn't clean up his house. Instead, he brought in a new mess, which is purportedly to be clean, but it's not even clean also. So that is what we have right now as a country. So it will take us a long time. We hope that the current minority, the current opposition under Kalonzo, and so many other young people who are coming up can join hands together, and we kick William Ruto and Raila Odinga out of government completely because they have lost it. I talk from a point that I supported William Ruto, and he lost my support the moment he did the wrong things, things that we didn't agree upon. So this is something that we need to look into. as a country, and 2027 wacha wajipange na sisi pia tujipange.
Mzalendo anasema wacha wajipange 2027 na pia sisi tujipange. Pia anamaanisha nini akisema pia sisi tujipange? Lakini
nasema hivi kujipanga kisiasa inamaanisha hivi, tunajipanga na kura. Isiwe mimi pia niwe statistics, lakini tunajipanga na kura, na kura yako na ID yako wewe kama mzalendo mwenzangu kule mashinani, uko wapi? Usidanganywe na harakati za wanasiasa, usidanganywe na chama, ukubwa wa chama, usidanganywe na hao viongozi. Zingatia maadili na ya ule mtu nampigia kura. Na pia isitoshe, kama umekuwa na mbunge ule amekuwa hapo zaidi ya miaka 10 ama miaka 20, huyo atoshi mboga. So huyo ni lazima mbadilishe na pia kama ni lugha ile watu wanaelewa ya corruption, then tuseme hao wamekula ya kutosha, wacha tulete watu wengine pia wakule. So hiyo ndio slogan ile mimi naona Wakenya wanaweza elewa kwa urahisi. Kama mtu amekula zaidi ya miaka yake 10, wacha atoke, amekula ya kutosha, wacha wengine waingie pia wale. Kama hao watakula na wabakishie wananchi kidogo, then itakuwa ni vizuri, lakini huwezi kuwa na wabunge wanakula zaidi ya wananchi, wanakula zaidi ya wananchi, na pia hakuna policies wala hakuna mswada wanaleta bungeni ili kusaidia mwananchi wa kawaida. Hivi leo nikikuuliza huyo mtazamaji uko pale nje, hebu unaweza kuwa uko Mwingi, unaweza kuwa uko Kitui, unaweza kuwa uko Homa Bay, unaweza kuwa kule Siaya, hebu angalia mbunge wako, uniambie ni mswada gani ameleta bungeni ili inaweza kufaidi wewe mwenyewe. Tusikuwa tu tunapiga siasa na tunatokea hapa Afrika na tunapiga kelele za porojo. Tunataka tuelimishe watu. Wewe kama wewe ni mkaaji wa Taita Taveta, mbunge wako ameleta mswada gani ili inaweza kuwa ya manufaa kwako? CDF sio mswada. CDF ni ongo ile wabunge wanatumia kukuweka uwe maskini. Ni pesa ile wanatumia kukuweka uwe unawategemea. Ukipatiwa pesa, hiyo ni pesa yako. Ingekuja katika mswada kama maswada ya elimu ya bure katika shule ya msingi. Hakuna haja wazazi wanafaa wapangishwe gwaredi ili kupatiwa check ya 5,000 kila mwaka. Unapangishwa gwaredi upatiwe check ya 10,000, 2,000 ili upeleke mtoto shule. Wale huyo mbunge anaweza leta mswada bungeni ya elimu bora, elimu ya bure. Now to William Samoei Ruto, I think the legacy that you can leave for the people of Kenya, now that you have tainted your legacy, is to provide a free secondary education. This is something that people will remember you with, just like Kibaki is remembered with the economics. People will remember your legacy if you can only provide for them free secondary education. The health implementation that you're trying to do is also a good thing, but it will be realized in a long time, maybe when you are gone. But I strongly believe that even when you leave office in 2027, the incoming president might not implement some of these policies. So if you leave a policy that will be implemented by the incoming president, it would be a policy on free secondary education. Unaweza peleka hiyo information kwa benki yoyote upate msaada. Asante.
Mzalendo anasema hiyo information amesema hapa nipeleke kwa benki yote, hata kama ni Kingdom Bank utapata msaada. But Kithure Kindiki, I have the hopes for Kithure Kindiki here, and he just gave few words, the man of few words, and I think this is the reason why William Ruto accepted him as the DP, because if he told let's go right, he'll go right, left. He will follow instruction, but you know the honest man from the region was always firm. Never followed what he was told. He was said that he was dividing Kenyans. But Kithure Kindiki, a man of few words, is also being hired by the Mount Kenya region. Is he going to serve? Is he going to link the Mount Kenya and the president? Because they said they don't have the direct conversation with the president. There is no link between the president and the Mount Kenya region. That is why they said some of the MPs and also members of County Assembly, they said they don't trust
Kithure Kindiki. Moborerei Karove, thank you very much. Karibu.
Your audio is mute.
Check on that. I'm going to check on it. So Kithure Kindiki was there, but as they had those meetings, this is what Morara Kebaso was saying. But before we go to Morara Kebaso, we saw how the deputy president, the former, I used to call him the deputy, he passed a long way, a place whereby it is very muddy. I saw the photos trending in the Instagram, whereby the shoe of Gachagua was very dirty. Kenyans are asking, why is he being treated like this? Because he did not walk through the podium where he can just go as a respected leader. Does it mean that Gachagua is no more a respectable leader? They don't respect him. Alex, do you think that Gachagua has no room for respect after his impeachment?
There will always be room for respect for him. But I feel like he made the mistake of not really resigning, because he knew the judiciary. I say we don't really have a judiciary that is principled. We don't really have a legislature that is principled. So yes, there is we have respect for him, and because he's the first deputy president to be impeached, so he has laid the foundation that whenever our leaders do not do as per do not they do not go and serve Kenyans, we can easily remove them. So for the respecters, still have respect for him. You see, he's still seen as one of the leaders of the Mount Kenya region, though his political career has come to an end. There is something to learn from his experience. Though you have respect for him, yes, that's what I can say.
I don't think Alex that Kindiki is called Gashagua's political career has come to an end. Gachagua's political career has just begun because one, he has identified that he's now the new kingpin for Mount Kenya region. Secondly, he will be able to vie for any particular for any seat, unless is barred by the court. The Senate and the Parliament cannot bar you from vying for any other seat, even if you are impeached, unless you are stopped by the judiciary. Gachagua still has got a day to ask the people of Kenya for their votes or to serve in any other capacity, unless that is stopped by judiciary.
And can we say we'll see the same thing as we did with Sonko?
Yeah, Sonko was stopped by the judiciary. Same to Waititu. So it has to be a judicial process. Yeah, that stops you from holding any other public office. So if that case is not brought forth, then he is still able to vie. And yeah, so follow the case of Sonko. Sonko took himself to the Supreme Court and he lost.
He's saying that Sonko took himself to the Supreme Court and he lost. So Gachagua might win, and that is why he was saying that Wakenya chukueni kura 2027 atakuwa kwa debe. It's like he has a lot of faith and trust with the judiciary. Although
Yeah. You see, this election is simple, Bonnie. This is one of the elections that Kenyans are so determined. We have seen this is the one of the elections that the youths are coming out to express themselves, unlike before. The only class that is letting people down in Kenyan politics is the middle class. The middle class are so contented with their jobs in the civil service and with their little salary, with their salaries that they earn. They are in their comfort zone. They are struggling, but they are still complaining comfortably. The day the middle class will join the rest of Kenyans in participating in democratic exercises, in voting and in demonstrations, that is the day you'll have change in Kenya. Remember this is a change that is happening all over the world. America just had its election. One of the most unexpected leaders to win won the elections in America. Same to other countries in Africa. Look at what is happening in West Africa. Look at what has happened in Botswana. There is change that is coming. It is inevitable. The other thing is that we need to get the IBC right. We might be participating in politics and cannot get the IBC in Kenya right because the political class uses the IBC to get in power. A country like India, a country like the US, elections were finished at 8 p.m. in the evening. By 11 p.m. in the night, we knew who was the president of the United States of America. It is that simple. We didn't have bogus bombers, people running into bombers with the copies of election results while elections were done at the grassroots levels. There's no election that is done at bombers. Elections are done at the grassroots and completed at the grassroots. So that polling center, they need to count the votes, tell us who has won that particular polling center, and that is it. By midnight, we already know who the president of the Republic of Kenya is. We don't need a Chebukati to announce the results of the president. We only need a good IBC that can organize officials who can be able to translate the results, and a media that can follow up in what is happening in all the polling centers. Then we'll have a free and fair election where people will not complain. You don't need to have commissioners that you have put there at the referees of at the four sides of the referee did not agree. Another three did not agree. Agree for what? Elections are done at grassroots, counted at grassroots, and finished at grassroots. Maina Kia is ruling. For heaven's sake, Kenyans, we don't need all this drama. Elections are done at grassroots, at a polling station, at grassroots, counted at the grassroots, finished at the grassroots. There's no election for the president done at Bomas or by commissioners.
Zalot, of course, is explaining to us how far are we when it comes to development. Because in the United States, they had election the other day, but still now they are not even following what happened. In Kenya, you will go even 5 months.
You know what is shocking, Bonnie? Elections ended. I have not even seen any Trump supporter celebrating. It is that I have not seen in the day election ended and Trump won. I have not seen any major like celebration or homecoming bogus stupid parties called homecoming parties done by African leaders, and especially in my country, Kenya. Instead of somebody serving, is organizing an homecoming of 30 million shillings. Yeah, that money could have easily ensured that every villager in your locality has got access to electricity and water with 30 million or 32 million. You know, we organized very interesting. Ati Kindiki is being sworn in. The president is busy running gazetting that we have a national holiday that Kindiki is being sworn in as the vice president. Africa hizi ni ujinga gani?
Si ujinga, si wanapatiwa Kenya holiday.
Do you know how much money is
don't
lost?
need all these holidays.
Oh, do you know how much money is lost in those holidays?
Wakenya
Do you know
wanapenda
how much
kutulia sana.
business?
Lazima watu
No,
watulie, mzalendo.
unajua ni biashara ngapi zinapoteza pesa hiyo holiday tu peke yake? Biashara tu peke yake. Holiday ni pesa, Government should look at as a holiday as money. The country cannot run on holidays. Hizi ni nchi zingine za Afrika unasikia president anazamuka aseme 1 month holiday. 1 month holiday. Na Wakenya are happy, wanashangilia kwa sababu, you know why? Everybody in the middle class are paid a salary whether they go to work or not. Unaona? So now there should be a policy where if you don't go to work, you are not paid. Unless you have got a good reason not to go to work. That is the only way we build the economy. Hebu niambie stocks ngapi ziliuzwa wakati kuko na holiday? Watu wangapi walienda bank because there was an holiday? The banks were closed. No transaction, huwezi fanya deal wakati mtu atakwambia leo ni holiday tungoje kesho. A lot of money is lost with these bogus holidays. Kindiki ni mtu angekuwa sworn in hata ina nursery school na watu waendelee na maisha.
But can we say Mudavadi was placed in as the cabinet secretary for security, so that they can prevent, and it was on a Friday, so that they can prevent Gachagua from going to court to challenging the swearing in of Kindiki, so that kukuwe na ako smooth running. So even there are no courts on Saturday and Sunday, and Rigathi could not challenge the swearing in on a Friday. That's why they placed it the holiday. So it was a move in some way.
I agree with you, Aleki. Me, the only thing is that hata angekuwa sworn in, hata bado angekuwa sworn in Saturdays, ingekuwa tu ni sawa. Mbona waiweke weekdays? Angekuwa tu sworn in on Saturday.
But you know, Kenyans, Kenyans love that. Kenyans love that. They will just open the week on Monday, but others will ask immediately when it's Friday after.
Nakwambia hiyo mindset needs to change. Unajua ukitembea ndio unakuja kurealize bwana, huku nje hii economy ina grow namna gani? Hii economy watu wanafanya kazi. Ukienda Europe watu wanafanya kazi, ukienda America watu wanafanya kazi. Hao wazungu walalagi juu ya economy yao, walalagi, they work so hard. Ukipata Mexican akifanya kazi, you see, if you go to Spain, you'll realize that the kind of work that these Mexicans do, hata Wakenya wachache sana ndio wanaweza fanya hiyo kazi. Wanafanya kazi na bidii and they work over 10 hours and it is manual work, si ati kazi ati wanatumia computers or what. Manual work, road construction and so many other things, house construction, they do it over time. They report at work at 5, 6 na wanaenda job, unaona. So hii uzembe iko Afrika ni ile uzembe sisi tumejiletea kama Waafrika, na lazima tuangalie whether we need all these holidays. Saizi kuna holiday ya Christmas inakuja, utapata ati a company imepatia wafanyikazi wake holiday for 2 months. Wanaanza December, watakuja, wameanza November, watakuja kazi Januari, mwisho wa Januari. Then you want to...
Hii ni Kenya, unajua Kenya lazima watu waenjoy mzalendo. Lazima watu waenjoy starehe. And I mean, I think this is one of the major contribution whereby our economy is not up to standard. We are always prioritizing on starehe.
Sasa utaprioritize starehe. Utaprioritize starehe na unataka economy grow. Hizo vitu zingine, hizo vitu mbili haziwezi kuwa katika sentensi moja. Starehe na maendeleo gani zinaweza kuwa kwa sentensi moja? Mr. Boni.
Starehe na maendeleo pia. Inaweza kuwa kwa sentensi moja.
Hebu tunga sentensi ukisema starehe na maendeleo, tukitumia neno starehe na maendeleo.
Kenya itaendelea na sherehe kama maendeleo yatakuwepo.
Your sentence does not make sense.
But anyway, when you consider what is happening in this country, then a lot of holidays, a lot of gazettes, we don't have a constitution in this country.
We have a constitution.
We have a constitution. It's only that it's not followed.
Yes.
Naongea nini wewe, my friend? You're out of order.
Alex, do you think that we have constitution in this country? Is constitution being followed?
We have a constitution. It's just that it's not being upheld. Like, for example, we have...
So if we have a constitution and we have judiciary, do you think that Gachagua is going to have justice?
That's why I said, for me, if you ask me, I feel like we don't really have a judiciary that is independent. I believe the judiciary is being dictated. That's what I think, because I don't think even right now, Martha Koome is really, she's making her own decisions. I believe she's under something which I call state capture. So, even if you look at the Rigathi case, if we're speaking truthfully, outside the politics, there was nothing concrete for him to be impeached, but it just happened because we don't really have a judiciary that is independent, and that's an issue in Kenya. That's what we have a constitution, but it's not being upheld.
We have a constitution, but it's not being upheld. But you know, in this country, a lot of things are happening, and whereby the laws have not been maintained. You know, the president, since he came to power in 2022, has promised Kenyans a lot. Morara Kebaso is here to expose what is happening, what is making Kenya not to grow? What is making Kenya not to move ahead?
This message is for the European Union citizens. Every citizen in the European Union, I want to speak to you directly, and I want you to know that you are paying exorbitant taxes. Some of it is coming through the European Commission to assist projects in Africa, especially in this country where I am, called Kenya, in East Africa. But that money is being stolen by corrupt politicians, government officials, with the approval of the European Union delegation to Kenya. And I'll give you two good examples, and you can look for this information yourself. There is a county in Kenya called Kwale County. It is in the coast of Kenya. That county received your taxpayers' money. So I'm going to tell you in Kenya shillings, then you're going to translate it. So 91,302,709. So 91 million Kenya shillings of your money has been disbursed to the county government of Kwale for a project that was called Kombani Market. This was a fresh produce market with a business center, a meat center, and a dry cereal center, and some office blocks, and some commercial business shops. This money, part of it has been stolen. In fact, almost half of it has been stolen. The contractor that was contracted to do this job was not paid this money. As soon as it was disbursed from the European Union to the county government, it was misappropriated and the money was stolen. Today, the
money was stolen. That is Morara Kebaso exposing the government for always being corrupt. And Kenyans are supporting Morara Kebaso for his injection. Alex, do you think that Morara Kebaso is going to inject the government until 2025? Or the government will start acting on Morara Kebaso? You saw the abduction that happened there, whereby he was abducted and taken to court, taken to jail, taken to cell. You know, is he going to do this for the next 8 years if Ruto is going to win in 2027?
I see, Bonnie. For right now, Morara is an activist, and he has exposed so many things. He has gone down the country. He has exposed things that are happening in the Kenya Kwanza government, and there is a price to pay for that. And I believe he has paid for that. We saw when he went to Bomas, where the ODM people who are in government, and they conspired an attack on him, where we saw seats being thrown at him from left, right, and center. And there's that MP for Dagoretti. I don't remember her name. She's a lady, and she was the one orchestrating those things to happen.
Elachi, Beatrice.
Yes, Beatrice Elachi. Yes, orchestrating those things. And so, but anyway, back to the question. So what Morara is doing is good. He is exposing us. He's exposing the government to us, the citizens. So I believe after all those exposés, I don't believe Kenyans core ground are going to elect this government from what we have seen. And ODM people, the ODM party is not also an option, because we have seen right now they're in government and there is no substantial change. Mbadi was Mbadi was given the CS for finances, and immediately he came in, he did not come in with his own policies or ideas. He came in and he said there are clauses in the finance bill which are okay, even after people going out there to the streets to reject it. And right now, 2 days ago, I uploaded something where he was talking about a 15% tax on content creators and online business. And you see, that's something also which people have rejected, and they're trying to bring that close. So for Morara, if he is opting to become a politician, he needs to take some time to be able to build himself up to establish credibility. Even if it's 5 years or 10 years, he's still very young. He's 28 years old. 2027 he cannot run for the presidency seat on the basis of it. The constitution entails for you to be at least 35 years of age for you to run for presidency. So if the constitution is upheld, he won't be able to run, but he can take some time. 28 years he can run when he's in his late 30s or in his late 40s, so that one day he can dream about being the president.
Mzalendo, this Morara Kebaso has been there for a while. Is he going to criticize William Ruto government for the next 8 years? And will Ruto allow this? Because, you know, he is confronting and criticizing William Ruto government directly without fear.
I think Morara is not the first one to criticize the government. We have Okia Mtata criticizing government. We have got the former prime minister also used to criticize government. So he's not the first and the last who will criticize government. Government will always have people who are opposing the government of the day. Then there are those who will support the government. That is why we are in a multi-party democracy. So multi-party democracy is what is in Kenya. So thinking that William Ruto's government will go and scrutinize, then I am very, very sorry, because if you go to parliament, if you go to the Senate, we have got Senate minority leader and the National Assembly minority leader, and all the assemblies in Kenya. We have got the leader of majority in both houses and the minority leader. In that is the same as what we used to have as the opposition leader. So the minority leader is an alternative government. They are the government with who opposed the government in the previous election. But you see now, this in Kenya, tuko na inaitwaje, ni kama ile githeri imepikwa na kila kitu, imewekwa everything inside. So we have the minority in government in minority. Yani they are yani ni kitu ingine. It is sad that minority, the opposition can be in government at the same time serve as the opposition. So sijui how we are going to wade into this murky political movement designed by William Ruto called the broad-based government. Broad-based government means that incorporating the opposition into government so that you don't have any opposition. So we are going back to the days when one-party rule, and that is the days of KANU. KANU never agreed on any clamped down on people who did not agree on with them, and it was heavy. People lost their life. Remember people like Archbishop Mbugum Muge. It's called Muge or Mugo or somebody. He was waylaid in somewhere in Rift Valley and killed by Moi's government. We had so many other people who were killed during Moi's time. In that, people like Robert Ouko, they were all murdered during that time. And look at how Ouko was murdered, and look at the situation happening in our country, Kenya. Somebody is beaten up, his eyes removed, everything, every part of their body removed, and it is sad. We don't have a country, man. I mean, who are these people who are doing all these things? And yet this government was elected by the church, the so-called church. So ni kugumu, my friend Bon.
Yeah, that is Mzalendo is saying that ni kutaf sana, ni kungumu. So guys, as we wrap the show, I just want to ask Alex for the closing remarks. Alex, are you there? Are you there?
Yes, I'm there. Sorry, I muted my mic. So as we wind up the show, shukrani kwa watu wote ambao wametutizama. I saw somebody watching from Diani, and if he's still there, should subscribe to the channel. We have shows Sunday to Sunday, 24-hour YouTube channel, and we want to grow the fan base, road to 2,000 subscribers. Watu wa subscribe. We have exclusive content, inform, educate, entertain. So there is so much huku kwa hii channel. To the panelists, thank you so much. To the viewers, thank you so much. And God bless you people.
Thank you so much, Mzalendo. I can see you're still on the car.
I'm still driving, but anyway, thank you for inviting me this evening. I hope that whatever I've said will help many people out there to understand where we are as a country, and we hope for the best. We have a lovely country called Kenya with very, very good weather, with very, very good climate for agriculture. But our only problem is that we elect incompetent leaders, and that cuts across. Sometimes I always say that leaders are not the problem. The problem is us. The problem is us Kenyans who elect these leaders, because without us, they would not be having these offices where decisions are made. Now, I urge also many Kenyans to come out and vie for these particular positions. Don't just sit there and your MCA or your senator is doing a bad job. And if corruption is the only thing that is driving us, then let us change the slogan and say it is my time to eat. So kama ni siku yako ya kukula, ambia MP wako amekula ya kutosha, ambia MCA wako amekula ya kutosha, ambia senator na ambia president pia amenyakua ya kutosha. Sasa ni wakati wetu wa kukula. Haya, asanteni sana na muwe na usiku njema.
Asante Mzalendo. Thank you for anyone who has watched Africa 24 this evening up to morning. Here is almost 3 a.m. And of course, I know those who are following in the United States, they are having a very wonderful evening. Remember, we started with our Kenyan soccer, whereby we said that our Harambee Stars need a lot of changes so that we can feature in the international competition. Kenyans want to see a good performance. The way we are seeing the Taifa Stars from Tanzania, whereby they have qualified for the AFCON 2025. They were there in 2024. We need Kenya to move ahead. That is all what we can say here in Africa 24. And again, in matters concerning politics, who is going to save this country from a lot of abductions, a lot of corruption, a lot of economy crisis? Who will save this country? Maybe this time round we try a woman president. She will help this country move ahead. From my hand, I want to say thank you so much. And if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, go there in Africa 24. You like, comment, and share. We have a lot of news there every day. If you go there, you'll find them, and you will always have the best news updates in Africa 24. A lot of shows. This weekend, we don't have Premier League, but we still have the Dimbal Africa show. We are going to analyze sports. We're going to analyze more about Kenyan Premier League and football Kenya Federation elections that are coming. From my end, I want to say thank you so much. Same place, same time, and cheers.